was the most sophisticated power raid in world history.
Bro.
Okay, sophisticated. There's a big difference there.
Not to me.
Oh, really?
No, not a bit. No. I got a lot of other raids that I'd place above sneaking into Venezuela at 2 in the morning.
You just said sophisticated.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking technology and stuff. You know.
Maybe not necessarily the greatest, but I would say if you're slipping into a country with some choppers, you nab the guy, and there's a level of sophistication.
But continue, because I want to hear what you've got to say in this. I'll stop interrupting.
Kenny's allowing you to continue.
I have nothing to say. I just, I'm gobsmacked.
No other military in the world could have executed the most sophisticated, powerful raid, not just in American history, I would say in world history. What those men did going downtown in another country is the most secure base in the middle of the night and without anybody knowing until those, here's a big word, Matt, simultaneous bombs dropped 3 minutes before the helicopter dropped. No other country could coordinate that. No other president would have been willing to empower those warriors that way. I think, you know what a contact high is, Joe?
Uh-huh.
You go to a concert and you walk out of there feeling kind of, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I think I think Hegseth might have a little contact high from hanging out with the president.
Did the Vikings just fire Gustav Adolphus? What
Kwesi Adolpha-Mensah has been relieved of his duties. Rob Brzezinski will lead all operations through the 2026 NFL Draft.
Football GMs are pretty important, aren't they?
I would say
Aren't
so.
they the ones that control the purse string?
I think what happened was they decided to do that because the Twins also fired their president of operations, Derek Falvey, early this morning. So
I didn't know that.
yes.
Boy, a lot of firing going on.
Joe, I'm reading this speech. It's a pep rally speech.
Right.
The whole thing. I mean, he goes on and on and on. It's a pep rally.
Have you ever watched any of the cabinet meetings?
No, I
Everybody
haven't.
in the cabinet goes around and tells how great they think President Trump is.
Oh, really? Really?
That's the cabinet meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
Do they have to stand as they do it? Rise and
Payday's
be-
coming up on Friday. Let's make sure.
The word fawning has come up a few times.
Yeah, that's another word for it. But yeah.
Doesn't make sense. A lot of things don't make sense to me. Do you know that in the White House, Donald Trump has added a framed photo of himself with Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, I had that in the news. I was going to have
It's
it.
in the
but that's
palm room, which is probably going to be bathed in gold.
Wow, what is it?
Who's taller in the photo?
Trump?
We didn't spend any time in the palm room in the White House.
No.
Yeah, that's Bill
it's
Clinton's
in the palm
room.
room, which connects the West Wing to the executive residence, shows a framed image of the U.S. president and the Russian president at their summit in Alaska. He's the biggest mass murderer of the 21st century. I guess you could have his. I'm surprised. I wonder if he's got one with the guy who runs North Korea. The Kim Jong Willie Nelson, or whatever the hell his name is. Well, but on the same day, we learned that Putin is thumbing his nose at the ceasefire that Trump engineered, and is just lobbing whatever he wants into Ukraine again. But we got his picture up in the house I own. I own the house. It's not Trump's house.
It's your house.
My house.
Yes.
It's your house.
Look here.
Did you okay all that gold?
I don't. I don't like the gold.
Where do we
It's
import
like
that
a
from?
Las
Yeah.
Vegas funeral parlor.
I love your new ballroom. That's going to be
It's
awesome.
not his house. It's our house. It's our house. And now we got Putin hanging in the palm room. What the hell?
Hey,
Huh?
I thought I locked that. It's like closing up the holy door.
You have to
See you
go
next
through
year.
you have to go through a closet to get in there.
And it's a little half door, one of those Dutch doors,
Yeah,
the lower portion.
I don't know. It's just me. I'm sure the cult believes that that's fine. I'm not in any cult. I personally find it distasteful to have a picture of Trump and Putin together in the palm room. That's
This is how we're
me.
gonna.
That's just me.
This is how we're gonna go into the weekend.
It's just me. I just don't like. I don't like Putin.
Well, I don't trust him.
Maybe it was
I
to
would-
an. Oh, I'm sorry. Rick.
I
No, you're
mainly
good.
don't like him because when he plays in those media hockey games, they always let him score about 9 goals.
Right. He's
I
got
don't
more
like that.
more goals
I
than
don't like
Gretzky
that.
combined
Yeah.
with
He's better than
Ovechkin.
Wayne Gretzky.
And Ovechkin.
Well,
He's
have
like
you
Kim
ever-
Jong-il's an old man
Yeah.
who shot 18 on a golf course.
Do you think it was a part of a promotional campaign?
For what?
Well, because we announced the first ever IndyCar race around the nation's capital this morning.
Does
What's that
Trump
got to do with Putin?
No, I'm just thinking maybe that was part of the deal. You know,
Let me ask
we're
you
gonna have a
something.
racetrack
No,
around the White House.
I used
and-
to ask Rookie
I
how
was
his
just
brain
gonna
worked,
say, yeah.
and I gave up doing that because it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Can't
So what
figure
I'm
it out.
asking you is,
Sure.
how does your brain work that I'm sitting here talking about a framed photograph of Putin
Yep.
in the Palm Room, and suddenly you're bringing up an Indy 500 race?
Oh, right
I
around the
don't
White
get,
House.
How does it work?
by
What
the
hap-
ballroom, the brand new ballroom.
happened?
It's
What
it's the
happened?
Freedom 250 Grand Prix of Washington D.C. It's coming in August.
Right around the Lincoln
What-
Memorial.
somebody help me. What does it have to do with what we've been talking about?
Fun
In-
Friday.
Even
An
with my
executive
history, I can't help
order,
you.
an executive order signed today by your president, Donald J. Trump, directed the White House task force on celebrating America's 250th birthday to designate a race route through Washington, D.C. and the
Okay, now,
National
I think
Mall
that's cool.
That's going to
For-
be America.
I love that.
for the purpose of conducting an NTT IndyCar Series race August 21st.
Would they zip by the White House? That would be cool.
I'm sure that he would arrange that.
And then we
That
all
would
have
be cool.
a
Yes.
post-game beverage at the brand new ballroom.
I don't think it'll be
won't be
done
done.
yet, Chris.
Well, he's pretty demanding. He's a New Yorker. He
It'll
wants
be
it
the
done.
greatest Indy style race ever held.
I think you're absolutely right.
It's going to be
Kenny,
so
serious
badass.
question: is he a car guy, a race guy, or
No, he's
Trump?
not. But this would put
Yeah.
No.
IndyCar in a league with F1 and all the historic tracks that they run. This is amazing.
Trump
this
did
is
own
really
a Lambo.
cool.
He owned a Lamborghini when he was allowed to drive.
Although he's been to a couple of NASCAR races,
Yeah.
but I always thought that was just for photo
Just
ops.
for
But remember the tank? Is that what we call the limo? Isn't it called the tank?
the Beast?
The Beast, I'm sorry.
Trump showed me something by owning a Lambo. He didn't fall for the Ferrari cult. But I saw a picture
What's
of
the
one.
distinction? What's the difference?
Well, I just think the Ferrari people have lost their minds.
Okay.
Ferraris are for guys that do their nails.
It's just,
Oh, so I would get a Ferrari.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I got it. I got you now.
Yes.
Thank you.
yeah, you would. If you were a billionaire, you'd be a
I like 'em,
Ferrari guy.
you know,
but
good
I saw
logo.
a picture of Trump at a gas station, and he was filling up, I believe it was a Lamborghini. John, could you check that for
I
me?
can check, sure.
I believe he owned a Lamborghini.
Unleaded 88.
Why in New York would you own
I
it?
don't think so, Chris.
Matty, he lives, he's got a winter place.
Mar-a-Lago, you're
He's got
right, okay.
got a summer place.
Donald Trump previously owned a 1997 Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster,
there you
which
go.
he special ordered.
Oh, boy.
What color?
I think it was blue.
Gold.
Really?
It was
Some shade of blue.
Blue Le Mans was the color.
I
the
thought
official
red was
color.
his color.
Well, he likes a red tie.
That's true.
But
okay.
you can have a blue Lamborghini.
Oh,
It
I
was-
mean, I'm
it
not
was
gonna
a
get
sweet
picky.
car. My hat's off to him.
95
It was,
to 2000.
It was sold at auction by Barrett Jackson in 2024.
Oh, really?
Yep, for $1.1 million.
Jerry Seinfeld bought it, I believe.
Seinfeld's a Porsche guy. He's ruined the Porsche market. He's not a
so
Lambo,
easy.
Had to bring that up.
not a Lambo guy.
The average price for one is $401,000.
A new one, you mean?
No, they didn't. They stopped Didn't you hear what I just said? They stopped making them 25 years.
That particular model they
Yeah,
stopped.
yeah,
You
that's
can
what I'm
still
talking
get a
about.
Lambo, a new Lambo.
I'm talking about a Lamborghini Diablo
Did you hear the dude's
VT
story?
Roadster. Donnie, you have no. Never mind.
Joe, do you want one of these? Why don't we do Yeah? Regather ourselves?
I'm fine.
Okay.
It's the rest of you morons who were upset.
That is true. It's my fault. And I'm going to take a minute to remind you folks, especially for you in the city of St. Paul, call Hofferman Water in Connecticut and get on that schedule and have them come out for that free water analysis. You do that one of two ways. Call them directly at 612-895-2725 2440 or visit their website at hoffermanwater.com. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single different water treatment system that they have to offer. Maybe you're looking for a brand new water softener. Maybe you're in the mood for an odor filtration system or a brand new drinking water system. Either way, you're going to be upgraded to the best quality water known to man, courtesy of Hofferman Water and Connecticut. I've been a customer of Hofferman Water for a number of years now, and it's made an amazing difference in the quality of my water, and it will do the same for you too. It'll make your laundry better. It'll make your cooking better. Your showers will be so much better with Hofferman Water and Connecticut. 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. And that's because Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota
and
for
he
over
throws
50
down the
years.
cans.
Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about him here on the Garage Logic podcast.
What just happened?
I think Joe had to go potty. I'm not exactly sure.
Here I am.
Okay.
Yep.
He had to come back in. So about that race, Ken, is that going to be a ticketed deal? Is it going to be set up like the Las Vegas race?
Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get to because all the beautiful people are going to be going there.
And they'll blacken out all the windows like they did in Vegas.
I tell you what, if you want to see an IndyCar race on a road course, go up to Wisconsin. It's they've got one of the best road courses. Well, it probably is the best road course in the country, Road America. Joe,
Okay.
you've been up there.
I've driven the track.
Yeah, it's an amazing facility.
They let us go about 50 miles an hour, but I drove the track.
Felt like you were going 80,
You had to
didn't
pay
it?
a fee, and then you got in line. We went around the whole track. And
What
I
did you
thought,
drive
let's
it?
Go.
What?
A car.
Yeah, and it's a big stretched
Yeah,
out
dart.
out in the countryside, so you can. There's a million viewing points. The crowd never gets too big. It's perfect. A
Well,
great facility.
I'm glad you brought that up. I had never been to Elkhart, Wisconsin, prior to visiting the track for the races.
Yeah.
Now, there's a little town there called Elkhart Lake, and there's a lake, Elkhart Lake. Really charming as hell. In the town are the old signposts for the original race.
Neat.
The original race started in the town of Elkhart Lake.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so, this was Bend number 1, and then you go to Main Street was Bend number 2, and great gathering of cars in the town when there's a big race weekend at Road America. And then there's this lake, Elkhart Lake, which is a lake similar to lakes people go to in Minnesota. They got the pontoon boat
Yep.
and the whole deal. And I don't know how they lived there because all summer long, Elkhart Lake is holding races on weekends.
So it's
Yeah.
loud.
And you can hear everything.
Yeah.
Now, I happen to like it, but I also happen to know, well, I don't have to live here, and I'm leaving in 2 days.
You like the tranquility of the cocktail cruise with the pontoon.
It's
and
really a neat place. Really a neat place.
So you're one of the people that would move in and then complain about the noise.
yeah, that's
The way they do in
Thank you. I
Alexandria
was gonna
with
say
Viking
that.
Speedway and the way they do in South Minneapolis with the airport. Are you one of those guys, Joe? Is that what you're saying? Is that what we just discovered here on Garage Logic?
No, I was saying that
You've got no fight in you today.
I
Golly.
really don't.
All right, I'll stop then.
What I was saying is,
I
now
think
that
they
I know
relish
that-
they
now that-
relish the dollars, Joe. I think that's the trade out, the money.
yeah. What I'm saying is, now that I know that, it probably would be unlikely that I would want to live on that lake.
Oh, well, I guess I went off half-cocked.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, it's June 19th through the 21st, GL'ers. If you want to see a dandy road race, get your tickets, go up to Road America.
Actually, you'd be going down to Road America.
Jesus.
Well, no, I'm a stickler about that. He's right.
Well, from this part of the country,
Yeah.
you'd be going down to it. I almost sound like Heidt there, didn't I? Mr. FYI.
Actually,
Tom Bonnet's a good friend of the show, a great emailer, a longtime GL'er, and I've been taken to task by Mr. Bonnet.
He's gonna tell it like it is.
Which is fine.
Yep.
You'll recall yesterday we were noting that there's a new comedy club in St. Paul, Laugh Camp,
Yes.
and they had booked a comedian named Ben Bankas. who I had not previously heard of.
Same.
For 6 shows. It was supposed to, I suppose, starting today and tomorrow and Sunday, but it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And we were praising the owner as making a wise business decision.
Bill Collins.
Because, well, according to the news reports of the cancellation, Ben Bankas was saying terribly provocative things, for example, about the shooting of Renee Good. And Bonnet, a number of reasons I like his email. Well, I'll read it to you. Joe, I'm writing in regard to your discussion of Ben Bankas, a comedian whose 6-show run at Laugh Camp Comedy Club was canceled because of his comments about Renee Good, the woman killed by ICE. As you're aware, I've listened since nearly day 1, so I'm not going to say I'll never listen again, but I'll concede that your discussion of Bankas was representative of what sometimes frustrates me about your show, mainly a failure to get all the facts before weighing in. And that's really been coming up a lot lately, because you can't assemble the facts fast enough to please the various tribes.
48 hours, 72.
But if we adhered with utter discipline to the 48-hour, 72-hour rule, there'd be no show. I grant you that's important, and it should be done. But holy mackerel.
Because if
sometimes you got to go with the material you got.
Can I talk about the technical aspects of doing a show like Garage Logic? Mm-hmm. No matter how much you prep before you go on the air, if you only follow your prep and talk about what's on your list of topics, you won't have a good show. The great thing about GL is we get on the highway and then we hit the ditch and then we get back on the highway. Then we hit a gravel, then we go through a field and then we're back on the highway. That's the beauty of this show.
Well,
that we
and I can corroborate that because yesterday the commentary about Ben Bankas was not even figured into my planning. It just came up during the show.
It was, absolutely.
Okay, let's continue with his letter. For context, I'm aware of Ben Bankas because I subscribe to his YouTube channel and because I'm active in the local comedy scene, and I love Tom. He didn't say community. He said scene.
Okay.
I was excited to learn Bankas was coming to St. Paul and dismayed to learn he'd been canceled. I had already watched his video about Renee Good a couple of times and did so again based on your conversation. Here's a link, and he linked me to it. What frustrated me wasn't that you took a stand about the comedian, but rather because you and your staff formed an opinion based on a handful of sentences quoted by John Heidt, largely inaccurately. Well, let me pause there and defend Heidt only to the extent to say you were reading from a news report, weren't you, John?
I was actually reading from a St. Paul Pioneer Press story.
Yeah.
And while that was going on, I was listening to him on his YouTube page. So I heard what was being referenced.
Okay, we'll get to that. Based on a handful of sentences by John Heidt, rather than invest 9 minutes of your time actually hearing what he said. Note that I'm not saying you wouldn't have found his comments offensive after watching the video, but it's akin to the 24-hour rule. Shouldn't all the facts come in before you declare Bankas to be worse than Andrew Dice Clay? Investing 9 minutes of your time seems to be a small trade-off before making a judgment call about a person's character. You mentioned that you don't fault Laugh Camp Comedy for making a business decision. If you reread the club owner's statement, you'll find it wasn't a business decision. A business decision would have been allowing a sold-out 6-show run to proceed. What the owner was saying was, if this show occurred as planned, our business might be burned down. The owner of Laugh Camp knows if Ben Bankas had been allowed to perform there, thousands of people would likely have showed up to destroy his business, not just figuratively, but literally. It's ironic that the side of the aisle protesting supposed fascism is passively threatening businesses with brown shirt tactics. By that reasoning, Jews in pre-World War II Germany, shuttering their shops and fleeing the country, were making a business decision. That's a stretch. There's irony, by the way, that Laugh Camp is still largely seen as a gay bar. I didn't know that. they were willing to let a conservative comic like Ben Bankas perform there was a testament to their willingness to cross party lines in support of free expression. And yes, business over ideology. Yet they ultimately caved to the mob. I mentioned I'm active in the local comedy scene. I attend a weekly workshop, and as you can imagine, the past few weeks have been a parade of local comics virtue signaling about the ICE situation. In some cases, I find the material hilarious, even though it differs from my political perspective. In other cases, it's nothing more than F Trump and F ICE to applause and cheers, which brings me back to Ben Bankas' material about Renee Good. Yes, it straddles the line between respectful comedy and poor taste. Yes, it might be too soon. Yes, Good's status as a private versus public figure might come into play, though one could argue she put herself in that position by her actions that day. But Bankas' reaction to the situation illustrates what people used to seek, and many of us still do, in comedy. Someone to publicly say what we all might be thinking but afraid to express. The willingness to slaughter sacred cows. To quote Rush Limbaugh, to illustrate absurdity by being absurd, which I believe Bankas did in his material about Renee Good. My sympathy for Good and her family is not diminished one iota by my opinion that Bankas' take was funny and even poignant in his patented, clumsy, redneck way. One more paragraph. This was all a gentle admonition, Mr. Mayor, to not fall into the hysterical social media trap you regularly decry. 9 minutes of your time is not too much to ask before assassinating the character of a comedian. If after watching this video you stand by your opinion, then I respect that. But making a judgment call based on a 10-second incorrect transcript only adds to the division. That's just my 2 cents and worth every penny. Good luck, Tom from St. Paul. Well, I did. I took his challenge. I listened to the 9 minutes.
Yeah, I spent a bunch of time with him, too, yesterday. You go ahead.
He has potential as a comedian. I'll say that.
Do you have to take your glasses off and wipe your eyes?
No.
Did you have to pause it to catch your breath?
No. But
Did
I rarely do on many
Did
comedians.
you get a good gut laugh, at least one surprised, loud guffaw?
No.
No. Neither did I.
Would you rank him above or below Puke and Snot?
I love
Above.
every kind of comedy, Joe, from tasteless, vulgar to Tony, almost religious. I love comedy, and Ben didn't do it for me.
Well, I said he has potential.
Yeah, I'm not going to rip him. It's
Yeah.
just he
has potential, but it really doesn't change what I said yesterday. And I don't even know if it's worth getting into the discussion of what's happened to comedy. Comedy falls along tribal lines like everything else.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, what does it do?
There's a lot of really good comics that don't talk politics at all.
Well,
and they're usually, Joe, the very successful ones that are in theaters and arenas. The ones that, it's that old Johnny Carson theory thing.
Well, who's this kid that everybody loves from Tennessee? He was just...
Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze.
He is not a kid from Tennessee. He's selling out arenas.
Right, and he's staying away from politics, isn't he?
Right.
Pretty much.
He doesn't do politics.
It's more lifestyle.
He's clean.
Yeah. All right.
He's very funny. I think he's pretty funny.
He's hilarious.
There's a ton of good young comedians, though, that are political, and they don't be left. They don't necessarily. They aren't necessarily left. They aren't necessarily right. They'll call out everybody on everything. Sam Morrell is one that comes to mind immediately, who's wonderful.
I know Sam. Yep.
I think he's funny as hell, and he'll call out whoever needs it, be it a conservative, a liberal, whatever. And there's other guys, Schultz. Schultz, I can't think of his first name.
This very well could just be the accumulation over life of your tastes.
Right.
And so I gave this guy my 9 minutes. And had I given him the 9 minutes yesterday, I can't really think I would have said much different than we said yesterday about him.
And I spent about an hour with him yesterday.
Well, I'm
and
not going to spend an hour.
I just came away thinking he should hone it. He's still working it out.
Yeah, I said there's potential, and he had some. There's some angles he can explore that were
absolutely
funny.
Yeah.
He could really do a pretty funny bit on just the nature of the people who protest, for example, who they are and what they believe, and if he did that in a funny way, it'd be pretty funny. But he's not there yet. I don't think he's there. I don't know his history. For all I know, he's a veteran. I didn't go to look him up. I don't know how long he's been on the road.
But I mean, he sold out 6 shows there. That's good.
Yeah, but it's
it's a small venue, I know,
room.
but that's something to hang your hat on.
Well, and he was going to make some money because the other part of the story I read is that the owner is being contested for the money that had to be paid, which was $18,000.
Right, that was part of his bit that I saw yesterday.
And he's managed by CAA, which is Creative Artist Agency, which is a big deal in the management world. So for all I know, this guy's going places. I don't know.
He's a name to watch.
Could be.
Yep.
Yeah. He was drinking a Coors Light on stage.
There's no accounting for taste.
A lot of guys have a bottle of water on the stool.
Yeah.
He's got the Coors Light. I can't excuse that.
Who's
But
the guy?
He's a big guy, so maybe he's watching his weight.
Dave Chappelle still smokes on stage.
Yeah, who's the guy that has a scotch and a cigarette?
I know.
What's his name from Texas? Ron White.
White.
I think he took the cure.
I think he probably had to take the cure.
Got it.
Because I think that was real scotch.
Yeah, yeah.
Tough to do a 2-hour show if you're.
No, he wasn't faking it.
Oh, got it.
I don't know. We used to live in a world where this wouldn't even come up, to each his own. But everything is politicized. Everything.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Do we have an out? The people that were shot are I don't think are ever. That's never going to be part of routine. But as
Well,
far
it was part of his routine.
it was, but there was that backlash. But what I'm saying is, when you're talking about the protesters, where is the line? Who decides, and how much time needs to pass?
The ticket
when
buying
there's an
public
event?
decides.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, he was sold out for 6 shows.
And in the case of him, the ticket buying public had decided.
Well, let's look at it another way. I'm fairly well read. I'm fairly aware of what's happening. A, I never heard of this club, and B, I didn't know I did not know that he was appearing at this club, and even if I had known, if I read that, I wouldn't have thought two seconds about it. Oh, there's a comedy guy at the Laugh Club. Okay, so would there really? I got to think a lot of people feel the way I did. They would not have known about this club. Maybe, as Tom says, the comedy scene knows about it. But would there really have been thousands of people there to burn the place down?
Yes.
I think probably.
Really?
Maybe not
Probably.
thousands, but I think you'd for sure get hundreds.
He made a business decision.
Well,
But to
not
wa-
according to Tom.
I respect the heck out of Tom. I think he's one of the best contributors to the show. The owner of the club made a business decision.
You know who comes out of here being a big winner no matter what happens is the comedian.
Bankas.
Yeah.
Bank-
He got
if
more
he would've-
attention in the last couple of days.
If he would have gone on and done the show, would have been big headlines. He would have won. So the show got canceled. He's still getting headlines and winning.
Yep.
Well, along those same lines, it's akin to altering the photograph of Nikema to have her sobbing. That was the best thing you could have done for her.
Yeah.
The best thing that's happened to Don Lemon in the last year was getting arrested yesterday. He couldn't have been happier.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to even be in the public eye. And now he's going, hey, I got arrested. I'm at the Grammys. I got arrested.
Right.
He's thrilled.
Yeah, that would be a really good bit. That'd be a good comedy bit.
Do you
Joe.
think the people that sold out those tickets did solely on the joke about Rebecca Good or solely on his lead?
Good.
I'm sorry, Renee, excuse me.
Matthew, we're talking about people. Joe's not in the circle, the comedy circle. He's
Well,
not
are
followed.
you?
Yeah, I am actually.
Well, but here's the deal. You like to watch
Joe,
them on TV.
it's as simple as just following people or seeing stuff on Facebook, and you're not.
I'm not on Facebook.
No, and that's how easy it is to be in the loop.
Would you go see a comedian?
Of course.
I know you watch them on TV, Chappelle and those guys when they do their specials, but
He'd go if the show was at 4:45.
Yeah, true.
If he could be home by 6:30.
Yep.
And if you had
there
a chair right by the exit.
Exactly. Then he'd go.
do they make and not in the basement? No basements.
I've
He
been
doesn't
to
want no.
more
no
concerts than all. Well, maybe not Heidt, but
Yeah,
I've
settle
been to
down.
more concerts
Settle
than the
down.
rest of you
Settle down.
combined.
That is
And
so
I've
funny
never,
you
I've
saying that.
I have often
my
not
God.
had an aisle seat.
I have forgotten about more concerts
have I.
than you've ever been to,
Okay, let
buddy.
me say Rookie and Reavers then.
Okay, all right. I will
Yeah,
accept
that's not
that.
saying much for me.
And because I'm 150 years old, I've seen all kinds of firsts. I saw Joe Cocker probably at the first show ever done at First Avenue, which at the time wasn't called First Avenue. It was called, what the hell was it? It was
Sam's,
Sam's.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam's. Mad Dogs and Englishmen. I saw Spirit play at the Labor Temple.
Al Jolson.
I saw the Doors at the Minneapolis Convention Center.
Are we going to play this game?
I fought Bob Backlund at the Philadelphia Spectrum.
Exactly.
To a draw.
I had a polar bear femur in the spectrum.
That's all I could think of when you were saying that.
I've seen Wilson Pickett in the Hollies. I've seen. You're right, Kenny. We can't go down this road. I can't remember them all.
me?
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, it was just whatever. We're losing track.
Rookie, who have you seen in?
Let's stick to the topic.
Enough.
Let's whoever's distributing the
Right.
media ticket.
Whoever's got media night, Rook's
Right.
there.
America's guest. Les Mis is coming to town.
What's weird about this, if I may, we talked about this and I did some searching on my laptop right here during the show. When I got home, my phone and Facebook was filled with links to the comedian. I didn't even have to go looking for it. And it just came to me. And, these days we spend a lot of time making sure the doors and windows are locked, thinking we're protected. Meanwhile, when it comes to our computers and our phones, we're not protected at all, including our most sensitive information, address, phone number, in some cases, even the Social Security number right there on the open web for anyone to find. That's not just a privacy issue. It's a safety issue. These shysters, they're buying and selling our data and targeting us for identity theft. There's been cases where cyber criminals actually steal Social Security numbers from private databases, then open thousands of dollars in fraudulent loans. If a criminal can find you with a simple search, they've already got everything they ever need to find your stuff. Your personal details are scattered all over. That's where Incogni comes in. They don't just go after the easy targets here. With their unlimited plans, you get custom removals. If you find a link exposing your personal business, Incogni is the only service independently verified by Deloitte. They get your data deleted and keep it that way. Remember this rule. They can't harm you if they can't find you. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code GarageLogic. Get 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/GarageLogic. Again, GarageLogic is the code. Get 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/GarageLogic.
earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Let that run a second. Here's John Heidt.
Thanks, Joe. That's really nice. It's my son, I know, but it's a nice solo.
And you can brag. That's okay.
Who's playing the rhythm guitar?
He is playing every instrument on there.
Okay.
North American Banking Company, as usual, brings you this update. Sports notes, we already hinted at them. Well, we more than hinted, we already said it. After almost a decade running Twins baseball ops and a year of managing the business side, the Twins and Derek Falvey announced they've agreed to a, quote, mutual parting of the ways.
That's been the problem.
Amicable? Sounds
Twin-
like?
It sounds like it. The Twins, Falvey and owner Tom Pohlad all released statements. In the meantime, GM Jeremy Zoll will take over the baseball ops side of the Twins, while Tom Pohlad himself will run the business side while they look for a new leader for that portion of the organization.
Well,
Because,
what would need to be led that's not going to be led by this new guy?
Well, when you're operating a functioning organization, what you typically decide to do is fire the guy that's running the operation 5 months after the baseball season ends. And, 2 months before, not even 2 months, about a month and a half before you're supposed to report.
Maybe they can hire the
Fab
GM
12,
from the
the
Vikings.
pitchers and catchers are 2 weeks from yesterday.
They have become the absolute definition of dysfunction over there at.
Here's John Heidt in the newsroom.
One other sports note, the Vikings have fired GM Kwesi Adolfo
See, he's
Mensah.
available.
After 4 seasons, Vikings owner Mark and Ziggy Wilf put out a statement this morning saying it was in the best interest of the team to move on from Adolfo Mensah, and that executive vice president of football ops, Rob Brzezinski, will lead the operations group through the 2026 NFL draft. After the draft is over, there will be a search for a new general manager.
Can we speak just for a moment on the Sam Darnold situation? The Jets are probably more despondent than the Vikings. But why didn't, let's just review. Why was Darnold let go?
To give the kid a chance.
It wasn't a money thing. They could have given him franchise money.
They did offer him a contract to stay, and he wanted another opportunity because he knew the kid was going to get the shot to be the quarterback.
But at the time, he didn't know the kid would be so suspect.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
What if we trade Ziggy and,
what if
and
you'd
Kwesi
have
for
this?
Falvey?
Yes.
In news, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison will testify before Congress amid federal investigations into widespread fraud allegations in state programs. Rep. James Comer of Kentucky, the chairman of the U.S. House Oversight Committee, confirmed this morning that Walz and Ellison have set time to testify before the committee on March 4th. That will be part of the panel's second hearing in its oversight of fraud and misuse of federal funds in Minnesota investigation. Last week in the committee's first hearing on Minnesota fraud, former fraud investigator Scott Dexter said the spotlight on daycare fraud in the state isn't new and said some former recommendations to improve security were never implemented. Justice Department this morning said they are opening a federal civil rights investigation into the death of Alex Preddy. According to the press release, Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, said we're looking at everything that would shed light on that day. The Department of Homeland Security also said that the Federal Bureau of Investigation will lead the probe. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem first disclosed the shift in which the agency was leading the probe during a Fox News interview last night. Her department said earlier this week that Homeland Security Investigations, a unit within the department, would be heading the investigation. In the same interview, Noem appeared to distance herself from statements she made right after the shooting, where she said Preddy had brandished a handgun and aggressively approached officers. The change comes after 2 other videos emerged Wednesday of an earlier altercation between Preddy and federal immigration officers 11 days before his death. The January 13th video showed Preddy in a winter coat yelling at federal vehicles, at one point spitting before kicking out the taillight of one vehicle. The struggle ensues between Preddy and several officers. When he turns his back to the camera, what appears to be a handgun is visible in his waistband, but at no point do the video show him reaching for the gun, and it's not clear whether the agents actually saw it at the time. Steve Schleicher, Minneapolis-based attorney who represents Pretty's parents, said the earlier altercation in no way justifies officers fatally shooting Pretty. In a post on his Truth Social platform early Friday, President Trump suggested the videos of the earlier incident undercut the narrative that Pretty was a peaceful protester, the president saying, quote, agitator and perhaps insurrectionist. Alex Pretty's stock has gone way down with the just-released video of him screaming and spitting.
Not that that changes anything, but it does paint a picture that he wasn't just a nurse at the VA that was directing traffic that day. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have breaking news, but I can't access it because I don't have Instagram.
I do.
Springsteen
apparently has arrived at First Avenue.
Yeah. Yeah, I read earlier somebody who was there heard the sound check and that he was doing a sound check. They were in line waiting to get in.
Can I just say one thing about the Pretty thing that I neglected to say earlier in the week, and I really should have when you asked me about it, since I have a permit to carry. And I told you about my training, which is to don't seek out trouble, retreat if possible, get away, do whatever it takes to avoid it. What I neglected to say is we have a law in Minnesota called duty to retreat. And if you're carrying your firearm in public and there's some sort of issue, your first duty, according to the law, is to retreat and get away from that skirmish, robbery, whatever it is. If you're carrying, you have to retreat in this state.
It looked to me like on the video that's now emerged of his initial dust up with ICE 11 days ago, he was furious and he kicked their car and he spit and he did not seem to retreat at all.
We don't know, or maybe we do know, and I don't know if he was carrying at that.
Unless it's AI, a portion of that video showed his gun tucked into his waist.
All right.
Now, on the one where he was shot to death, I didn't see him putting up a fight. He was leaving. He was getting off to the side of the street. So you know what? Nothing is what it seems anymore.
I was mostly just covering my ass by saying what I said. And I screwed up. I should have said that earlier in the week.
A moment of silence for Pretty and Renee Good was one of the few moments of agreement between Democrats and Republicans at a state Senate hearing yesterday. Lawmakers heard from constitutional legal experts about what they call repeated violations of constitutional rights. Republicans say Democratic state and county leaders could help reduce the tension. Democrats said problems could be solved by ICE leaving the state. There were dozens of lawmakers from 15 states at the hearing. Afterwards, several said they were inspired by what they witnessed in Minnesota. No action taken at the informational meeting, but some lawmakers say they're considering legislation that could impact future immigration enforcement in Minnesota.
John, I have a question about that. I saw a stat earlier today, and again, it's from Fox News, so whatever. But here's the arrests by numbers in other states. Texas has 88,000 arrests from ICE. Florida has 34,000, California 30,000, New York 13,000, and Georgia 12,000. But are there this amount of protests and fighting and everything going on in those other states like there is here in Minnesota?
I don't know.
What is the time period of those arrests?
Well, this
What are you reading this from?
From Fox News. So, but basically the point is the violence in Minnesota, the way that they surmised it is the violence that's happening in Minnesota is to kind of get everybody's eyes off of the fraud. That's how they framed it. That's not what I'm saying.
They?
Fox News.
All right.
So I was just curious. But I don't know of protests and whatnot going on in those other states, even though they've had seemingly more arrests.
The governors
the other thing you got to do is the math. Maybe 88,000 is nothing in relation to the number of illegals in the state.
Because of how close they are to the border. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Texas has what? We read this the other day, 2.1 million?
Yeah.
And Minnesota has I don't know. I don't remember the numbers.
And are any of those states self-declared, or cities, I should say, sanctuary cities?
Sure.
What is the behavior of the mayors, and the governors?
The governors, yeah.
And,
We're not a sanctuary city. We are a city with a separation ordinance. There's a big difference.
Yeah,
Sanctuary,
Right, but you know what everybody calls it. You're right, though. Yeah.
by law, this has never been declared a sanctuary state.
Right, Yep.
A legal victory for lawful refugees detained by federal agents. Jessica West, a professor at the Mitchell Hamline School of Law, said the victory is twofold. The conditions under which they are now being released has been changed. The court was presented with evidence that ICE is releasing people without shoes, in their underwear, and in the cold, sometimes just dropping them off in the street outside of the Whipple Center. Well, now federal authorities, because of this court decision, must contact a detainee's attorney to arrange for someone to pick them up. In the ruling handed down Wednesday, federal judge John Thunheim ordered the immediate release of lawful refugees detained by immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Madeline Lohman advocates for Human Rights, a nonprofit that provides legal help to refugees. She said the judge was very clear. He said there's supposed to be an immediate release. There's no waiting period. The ruling is in response to a class action lawsuit filed by the group against the Department of Homeland Security's Operation Paris.
This just in.
What? Were you breaking news?
Abraham Lincoln said that watching Melania was the worst experience he's ever had in a theater.
That's pretty good. Wow.
I think that's funny.
Wait, are you serious, Clark?
I am. He came back to life just to go to the debut.
Craziness.
What time are you going to go watch that?
I don't think I'm going to make it.
As you alluded to earlier, Joe, Don Lemon and local journalist Georgia Fort were arrested in connection with that anti-immigration protest. Hang on, I'll get to that. That disrupted a service at the Minnesota church. Lemon arrested by federal agents in L.A., where he'd been covering the Grammy Awards, according to his attorney, Abby Lowell. It's unclear what charge or charges Lemon will be facing in the January 18 protest. The arrest came after a magistrate judge, you'll remember this last week, rejected prosecutors' bid to charge the journalist. Lemon interviewed witnesses at the church, reported what was going on, saying repeatedly he was there to report, not to protest. His lawyer said Don's been a journalist for 30 years. His constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he's always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. Fort posted a Facebook Live video detailing her arrest. She said, as a member of the press, I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when we can just be arrested for being a member of the press. Fort is a Twin Cities-based independent journalist, founder of Black Press and the Center for Broadcast Journalism, a nonprofit founded in 2022. The CBJ aims to amplify stories from underserved communities, recently launched WEQY-FM in St. Paul. Previously, charges against two women, activist Nikema Levy-Armstrong and Chantel Allen, were civil rights charges. No word on what the new charges will be. Why don't we take a quick break here? I think we have to hear from Mr. Olson.
Yeah, we are.
A lot of lies floating around out there in the internet, as we all know. Don't believe the lies that the internet trolls spew. And I have to admit, I've been on the hook. Even though I've been using seafoam motor treatment successfully for years, I've recorded video evidence. I decided to take the bait. I went to the internet and typed in, is seafoam snake oil? The internet answered right away. It's not considered snake oil. It's a legitimate, effective solvent blend of petroleum naphtha, pale oil, and alcohol used for cleaning engines, carbon deposits, and stabilizing fuel, dissolving sludge. It does all of that. It's been used for decades, and it's safe for gasoline and diesel engines. Just what I've been talking about here with seafoam for years on Garage Logic. I dumb it way down for you and call it a miracle in a can. If you have a gunky carb, try this on, like, say, a lawnmower or snowblower. I witnessed it. My nephew's using it on a riding lawnmower. They had that thing running. It was barely alive. They had a spray bottle filled with seafoam motor treatment. While the engine is running, they sprayed it right into the carb. The engine would bog down, then it would pick up. They do it again. They kept doing it until finally that engine was purring like a kitty. Don't believe the internet trolls and these loudmouths that sit in the Legion all day who never let evidence interfere with their opinions. It's a true
Like
warrior,
us.
Yeah.
a true warrior in a world of bad gas. It's our best friend, Seafoam.
In other news, Minnesota, kind of some bad press lately, and now a Minnesota man has been arrested after he tried to break Luigi Mangione out of jail in Brooklyn on Thursday.
Come on.
Sources say Mark Anderson, 36 years old, has been charged with impersonating a federal agent. Anderson traveled from Minnesota to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, claiming to be an FBI agent, with a court order to release Mangione. Mangione has been kept at the detention center in Brooklyn as he awaits trial for the alleged murder of Brian Thompson, the former CEO of United Healthcare. After claiming he was an FBI agent, Anderson reportedly claimed to have paperwork signed by a judge authorizing the release of a specific inmate. While the complaint does not state the inmate's identity, ABC News reported that law enforcement sources said it was Luigi. When members of the Bureau of Prisons asked to see his credentials, Anderson showed them a Minnesota driver's license and threw numerous documents at the officers. Anderson then claimed to have weapons in his bag. In his bag, a barbecue fork and a pizza cutter.
That'll get him out.
It looked like one of those old Devani's pizza cutters. Too.
Yeah, the
Bad
round
pizza cutter.
Yes.
Some other Luigi news this morning. Mangione will not face a possible death penalty sentence in the New York federal criminal case where he's charged in the killing of Thompson. Manhattan U.S. District Court Judge Margaret Garnett, in an order, dismissed 2 of the 4 criminal counts that he faced in the case. The potential maximum sentence for the remaining 2 counts for causing the death of Thompson is life in prison without parole. The 3rd count, which the judge tossed out, accused Mangione of the murder of Thompson through the use of a firearm during the alleged stalking, is a capital eligible offense. The 4th count, which was also dismissed, accused Mangione of using a firearm equipped with a silencer during the
I
stalking.
wonder why those counts were dismissed. They're true.
Yeah, I don't know. President Trump this morning naming Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell as Federal Reserve Chair, ending a prolonged odyssey that's seen unprecedented turmoil around the central bank. That decision culminates a process that officially began last summer, but started much earlier than that, with Trump launching a fusillade of criticism against the Powell-led Fed almost since Powell took the job in 2018. Trump said, "I have known Kevin a long period of time, have no doubt he will go down as one of the great Fed chairmen, maybe the best ever." The pick of Warsh likely won't ripple markets because of his past Fed experience and Wall Street's view that he won't always do President Trump's bidding. David Bahnsen is the chief investment officer of the Bahnsen Group. He said he has the respect and credibility of the financial markets.
Say his name again, his last name.
I knew you were going to do this. Kevin Warsh.
Yeah, I need to wash the truck.
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't even listen. That's all that I thought of that whole
As
story.
soon as John said that, I thought of Grandma saying, "Do you want me to wash your clothes?"
Yeah.
I knew a guy in grade school that said Warsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get How do you get Warsh?
It's like a silent R.
No.
Well, it's not there.
No.
There's no R
No,
there.
I heard
Yeah.
the R.
Non-existent.
It's an invisible R.
Invisible.
Yeah.
President Trump, his 2 sons, and the family business are suing the U.S. Treasury Department and the Internal Revenue Service for alleged leaks of their confidential tax information. The Trumps are seeking at least $10 billion, with a B, dollars in damages, according to the lawsuit in Miami federal court. The civil complaint alleges the IRS and Treasury failed in their obligation to prevent the leak of those tax records by former IRS employee Charles Littlejohn in 2019 and 2020. In addition to Trump, the plaintiffs are his sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, and the Trump Organization, which the sons run. The 40-year-old Littlejohn right now is serving a 5-year prison sentence after having pleaded guilty to 1 count of disclosure of tax returns information. He admitted to leaking Trump's tax records to the New York Times, also admitted to leaking records about wealthy individuals to the news outlet ProPublica. The new lawsuit says that Littlejohn, in a 2024 deposition, admitted he disclosed the information that included all businesses that Trump owned to the investigative news outlet ProPublica.
John, that's fantastic.
Let me do Catherine O'Hara.
Please,
just
yeah.
so people know. Catherine O'Hara, famous for a lot of stuff. Home Alone, Schitt's Creek, Best in Show, SCTV, has died. Legendary Hollywood actress died. Two sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ this morning.
Best in Show. Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh my God. She was so good.
She was the mom
When
in
he
Home
says,
Alone.
"Oh, she's had many lovers. Oh,
Yes.
hundreds of lovers." He's like, "Well,
And, who is it? Eugene Levy is
Levy.
just sitting
Yeah.
there looking like a cuckold.
the guy with two left feet."
Yeah. No, I really have two left feet. She was Macaulay Culkin's mom in the Home Alone movies. She appeared as Moira Rose in 80 episodes of Schitt's Creek. Other notable movie credits: Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, and Beetlejuice. Catherine's most recent work came opposite Seth Rogen in the Apple TV Plus series The Studio. She earned an Emmy nomination for her work there. She did win Emmy Awards for her work in Schitt's Creek in 2020, followed her first Emmy win way back in 1982 for her contributions to the sketch comedy TV series SCTV Network 90. She was 71 years old.
Young woman. Let's go get Patrick. Hey, Pat.
Yes, Joseph.
Busy day in sports firings.
Yes, it's a busy day in Minnesota sports. But first, before I forget it, I'd like to say the story of the day to me is Matt Khalil suing his wife,
ex-wife,
for suggesting his manhood was too large. That has to be a first, doesn't it?
Our theory is that he begged her to say that.
He's whatever the settlement is, he's going to double it and send it back to her.
Yeah, you say this, I'll pretend to sue you, and I'll give you some dough.
So I have to ask, any chance you've ever seen said
I
appendage?
I haven't, but... You know, he started off real well, but he kind of faded as a player. He's probably worn down,
I got to ask you something about that.
A lot of baggage to carry around there.
Well, you think that other than that, were they a lovely couple? It's kind of a sad story.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I got to get rid of the guy.
She said he's a hell of a guy. She loves him, but
Well, if she's looking for something a lot smaller, I would suggest her call Joe Souchere. I'm sure he can be loaned out. I'm sure his owner doesn't give a rat's ass.
You know, Pat, I'm glad you brought that up because the thought that occurred to me was, remember the big victory celebration we had and Fox 9 goes live to the locker room and there stood Vazante Shenko in all of his
Yes.
glory on live
Yeah.
TV.
Yes. And
With a thermos?
Vasante then was our guest on the show as our Viking guy one day a week on the show. And every time we talked to him, he was getting a massage someplace,
Well, this Khalil apparently has a paint can hanging there. You know?
No, she said it was like 3 Diet Coke cans.
Well, that would equal a paint can. That's big. I mean, that's something else.
Is that regular decaf?
Hey,
Now, is that next to each other or stacked on top of each other?
Quasimodo got fired. Kwesi.
Well, Falvey gets fired,
Yeah.
and we find that out at, I think, 8 o'clock in the morning. And the Vikings Falvey and Kwesi apparently knew each other and were kind of friends. And Falvey texted Kwesi in the morning and said, "I just got let go." And Kwesi sent his sympathy. And 5 hours later, Kwesi got let go. So,
is there any chance, Pat, that it'll be like the Yankees pitchers back in the day that swapped wives? Maybe the Vikings and Twins just trade GMs?
Trade GMs. I don't know. I still think the Kwesi thing is BS. That it's O'Connell's had way more influence out there, but they want O'Connell to be their golden boy. So they fired. They let Kwesi take the fall for this season, and he spent a lot of money on offensive linemen. But you think he did that without the approval of Kevin O'Connell and everybody else? They wanted to, build on their big run last year. It wasn't Kwesi who said, "Boy, we really want this J.J. McCarthy to be our quarterback." That was O'Connell. So.
Pat, I still think a story, maybe it's been written, I haven't seen it. It would really be interesting to do a very detailed story on the 1 hour it took during the decision-making process to let Darnold go. I think that'd be an interesting story. What were they gambling? What were they risking? What were the dynamics involved? Because now you got the Jets are beating themselves up because they let him go. Now the Vikings let him go, and he's going to the Super Bowl with Seattle. It'd be interesting to know what was going on in the room when they decided to let him go.
And the other thing, Joe, was why did they spend all that money on offensive linemen if they weren't going to have Darnold back and they were going to have an unproven quarterback? That seemed to be a little premature that they would spend those, get a guard and 2 guards in the center for big money. Somebody also should have said the center you're getting has had 4 or 5 concussions. You know that. And You know what it's hard for centers to do, Joe? Avoid contact.
That's right.
Because they're right in the middle there, and somebody's leaning into them and pounding the crap out of them on every play. So, anyway.
Reaver's theory is that Darnold looked at the tea leaves and figured that he wasn't going to get a shot here. They were putting all their eggs in McCarthy's basket.
They might not have been willing to, certainly give him. He got 3 years, $100 million in Seattle. They weren't going to give him that kind of money here. They weren't going to. They wanted him to come back for a year, maybe. And
well, it worked out for Seattle.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. But the Twins thing was much more shocking to me. Today that Falvey only a year ago. It was only December of 2024 that St. Pete was stepping down, and they were making Falvey all powerful. Now that was a different Polad was in charge. Joe was in charge, not Tom. But this is. I was told that that when they got the $1.75 billion from these minority partners, they're not just a bunch of lackeys sitting on the sidelines. And Tom Polad basically recruited these guys or found these guys and made them some, that they have some influence here. They we're going to change the organization type of deal. So I don't know how long he's going to be running the business operation, but this guy that is now going to be the general manager, Jeremy Zoll, might be a very fine baseball guy, but he's not exactly an ace communicator. So it'll be you're going to get some. You're going to get some cliches. The only thing I won't, I like Derek, good guy, Falvey, nice guy, but I won't miss him saying group. He says everything's a group. Everything in our group. I love our group. Everything's our group's fine. I won't have to hear group quite as often.
Let me turn to hockey, and I will not use the C word. I think Hughes, with each passing game, I'm more convinced he will lead that team into a very deep playoff run.
Oh yes, I think he alone can save West 7th from the economic disaster it is facing at the moment.
The one thing about them, they work hard. They work harder than they should for their victories. They're either in overtime or they're down 3-0 and they finish it up. They're working really hard for that record, which that's fine. Work hard, that's fine, but nothing's coming easy to them.
Well, they won in regulation yesterday.
Yes,
but there was this stat that the Winnipeg Jets, who are in 28th place, and the Wild, who are in 3rd place, had the same number of regulation victories.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, they won, I think, almost as many games, until last night, almost as many games in overtime or the shootout as they had in regulation. So
I believe they've had 9 overtime games.
Yes, and then we also had the Timberwolves playing last night, and I've decided that the Timberwolves are very predictable.
Well, they beat the hell out of the Thunder.
Yes, they're very predictable because when we decide they stink, they play good, and then when we decide they're good, they stink. So they're predictable. Just they do the opposite.
They're contrarians.
Yes, they are. They're very contrarians. Yeah. They are very contrarians.
So you're going to pound the keyboard right now?
Well, we got other. I had already penned something, and I'm waiting to see what our other worthies are writing about the Twins and the Vikings, and then I got to write something out. And I with the deadlines we have now, with the papers coming in from the suburb of Des Moines, you never really know when it's going to get in or when you're writing for. You just kind of,
it'll show up.
You working on that turkey of the year?
My deadline's gone from 10 a.m. on Fridays to 5 p.m. on Thursdays.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
For a Sunday column.
Forget being timely.
Ours was allegedly 11 a.m., and I tell them I'd start at 11 a.m. I hope to be done by 2:30. So
Pat, yesterday, I don't know why it came up, but I called you during a break because we couldn't remember which Twins player you had to borrow $10 to watch a movie.
He lent them $10.
Sorry.
No, it ended up I never got it back. But that was Fast Victor, a great guy from
Victor who?
Great guy. Vic Alberry.
Vic Alberry, that's right.
Vic Alberry was Fast Victor, I always called him. Fast Victor was the one who gave up 9 runs in relief in Kansas City, 10 runs in relief, and called up the press box to complain only 9 of them should have been earned.
We did lose him in 2017.
He died?
69 years of age.
Jeez.
Yeah. He was. That was the year that their second game in Kansas City of the season, they gave up 23, and then they got rained out the next day, and we went back there in August. That was Brett and Willie Wilson and all those guys. They just hit doubles and triples. And the next game they were there, they gave up 18. So they gave up 41 runs in 2 games to that Kansas City.
Wow.
Well, and doing a little research on him, not only did he look like he needed the $10 from you. He needed some relaxation in the theater, I think, is what the picture is saying to me.
He was a good guy. He was just, Bert Blyleven had a great comment about him once. I was on the bus coming into the Super Bowl dome for playing an exhibition game, and the Super Bowl, the Superdome at night, it looks white. It looks white down there, and we come down this hill and we see the roof of the Superdome, and Blyleven says, "My God, it looks like Al Berry's fastball." I remember that one all the time.
I'll talk to you Monday.
All righty, we'll see how the. I wanted to mention one more thing. Mm-hmm. First place in the CCHA hockey standings with a 10-game winning streak, your St. Thomas Tommies, who are home this weekend for 2 games with once mighty Michigan Tech.
Cool. All right, thank you.
All right.
All
See
right.
you. Goodbye.
You want to take a time out?
Let's do that.
All right.
Today is Friday.
Oh, do I enjoy it?
TGI Friday. It's the scramble.
What do you have there from your country estate?
Just one more thing before we go. I tried to call 35E between West 7th and downtown, the Design Flaw Freeway. That didn't have a chance because your name stuck. And
That's
evidently
the practice freeway.
The practice freeway. And what's the history with you and the practice freeway? Were you again it from the beginning?
No, but it amused me that we had this. It was similar to a freeway, only it was for practice. You could get on and off,
Right.
And then when you got to either end of it, you could actually go a real speed.
Yeah. So every morning when I'm doing traffic, I watch northbound 35E stack up for no reason at all, and it kind of bugs me. I kind of feel sorry for them. So earlier this week, January 29th, that would have been
yesterday.
That's only yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I sent out this tweet, little video of traffic moving slow, and I wrote, we should rethink 35E between West 7th and downtown St. Paul. Pull out the median, add a couple lanes each way, and knock that speed limit up to 70. Who's with me? I didn't think it would get the reaction.
Oh, no.
It did. It's up to 458 likes.
Really?
And people have responded, Joe, and it's the responses that I wanted to read to you. 17 hours ago, a guy named Seek, 45 through there is ridiculous. Build a sound barrier for the folks that live up the hill and set a better speed limit. The practice freeway is a joke. How am I supposed to get jacked for hockey when I'm rocking out but only moving at the speed of smell? Carl chimed in with, I'm not going to read his word. It's very mentally disabled, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Now, here's resistance from Snow Bunting. Nope. MnDOT is already utterly failing to uphold the RIP 35E settlement terms in which this stretch was supposed to be a parkway.
It's a parkway.
It needs further lane and speed reductions and more trees. Mm-hmm. This is a neighborhood. Sorry for your suburban inconvenience. Mm-hmm. Never forget at St. Paul, they want 20 in the neighborhoods and love bike lanes even now. Another one, where would people practice driving?
That's it.
Another one, would love to, but it's technically a parkway because the rich folks on Summit Avenue don't want semi-trucks making their neighborhood noisy.
Summit Avenue had nothing to do with it.
And just the final one, which this guy saw through my tweet right away. His name is Ken Roberts. Poking the St. Paul Bears, sir?
I guess Summit Avenue would have had something to do with it. It's below a good hunk of Summit.
Yeah.
But mostly Crocus Hill.
But I just feel for them, Joe. Every morning they're stacked and backed between West 7th and downtown.
Well, I can't help you. It's wonderful, wonderful entertainment to drive at the exact speed limit. And just to watch the reaction of people.
Subarus flying by, trying to honk at you.
You know what's wonderful is when I left town, I was there on Wednesday. When I left, you get out in traffic when it's free flowing.
Yeah.
You're doing 75 and trying to keep up.
Yep.
And then when you get to a stretch of like westbound 94 approaching Rogers and the speed limit is 70, everybody's doing 85.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
And the trick is make sure somebody's going faster than you.
Always.
Yeah.
And I rode that all the way up through St. Cloud. It was a great drive home.
Only because they come to us. Wait a minute. Do I have that? You bet I do. This is the syrup.
That's right.
This is the Maples Masters.
Masters
Maple syrup.
GL'er of the week.
GL'er of the week. This week's GL'er of the week is. Why did I give that clue yesterday about TK?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Because it's RB. It's Ruth Burnett
Fuzzy.
of North Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh.
Wasn't that last week?
TK's cousin.
Wait a minute. Was that
That was
last
week. That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week.
She wins again?
See, TK, I was right.
Congratulations.
Tyson Koffler of Chisago City.
Exactly.
I remember we went through that whole Fort Myers thing last week.
Yeah, because we were thinking
This
about
is Tyler.
that was south.
I'm sorry, this is Tyson Koffler of Chisago City is this
TK,
week's
we call him.
GL'er of the week. That's right. And he wins the Masters Maples gift pack.
That's right. And you can become a GL'er of the week by upgrading to an annual town council membership.
Thank you, Tyson Koffler of Chisago, right up there.
Yep.
Right up there by St. Cloud. All right. No, it's nowhere
No.
near St. Cloud.
Highway
it's
8.
It's
Highway
way
8,
right
yeah.
out there.
Not close.
Only because they come to us all the way from Kaiwaka, New Zealand, from the Traveling Lymans. It was on this day.
January 30th.
Well, on this day in 1867, Ralph Waldo Emerson lectured in Winona at the courthouse,
Ooh.
sponsored by local library associations. Emerson's tour of the Midwest included stops in Fayetteville, St. Paul, and Minneapolis. He was on the road. They probably sold T-shirts in the lobby.
Any sponsorship from Marigold Dairy?
Nope.
Okay. That's
On
where
this
some of the
day-
relatives used to work.
Jan 30.
In 1958, the states of Minnesota and North Dakota agreed that Minnesotans who worked in North Dakota and North Dakotans who worked in Minnesota would not be required to pay income taxes in both states.
That's common sense.
That's a
huh?
pretty good deal. huh?
Yeah, that's smart.
On this day,
Jan 30.
and they've been trying to recover ever since. On this day in 1992, Charlie Boone reached an agreement with WCCO AM radio on his impending retirement from full-time announcing. His retirement ended the 30-year Boone and Erickson partnership, one of the station's most popular features. That happened on this
They
day.
made a bunch of money.
They did.
Yeah.
Boy, nobody had any comment
Isn't it
on
true,
that.
Senator? Point of law.
This day, I think that was Boone only.
We finally decided to stop competing with them when Ginny came on board.
Well, there was no reason to.
This station struggled to try to be some kind of alternative to CCO until Ginny came on and said, forget that nonsense. Go have some fun, boys.
On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
Jan 30.
Usually you say something else.
I know, but we're running way behind schedule.
On this day in 1980, Williams Arena was deemed unsafe. Well, it's still there. What the hell did they do?
Well, they renovated it.
Oh. On this day
Jan 30.
in 1990, the Gunn brothers moved to California unless 15 million improvements were made to the Met Sports Center, apparently, and they must have made the improvements because I don't think they moved in 1990. I don't know.
Did the Gunn brothers, were they San Jose Sharks originally?
No, I think they had the Seals, the Oakland Seals. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
San Jose.
I don't
That's
know.
just a little whipped cream.
Hey, getting warmer this
Yeah, a little
weekend.
ice
Now, thank you, GL'ers.
Do us a favor if you haven't done so already and hit the subscribe button on the Garage Logic YouTube channel, where you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. You can also see full segments, video shorts, behind the scenes footage. It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube along with all of our social media channels. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and X, and also...
I forgot to tell you something. Flesh-eating flies are now developing in Texas. The larvae of
it's great news.
flesh-eating flies.
The Sharks
Fantastic.
began with the
Thank you.
San Francisco Seals of the WHL. And yes, Gordon and George were minority owners of the Golden Seals, which became the San Jose Sharks.
One of them was blind. I don't know which one.
Yes, the other one could see.
Oh, do I enjoy it?
Thanks, John, for catching